So let's just get straight into it. I'm gonna try and be as fast as I can, but there will be timestamps for certain aspects of this, and yeah, if you watch it all the way through, you're a legend. So let's get started on wall props, the best ones to use. These are the stunt racetrack pieces that they're used quite often by a lot of different people. Um, don't use this one. It's got the sign on, it's full traction. As a general rule, full traction props have shitty hitboxes. So just get rid of that out of your arsenal straight away. uh, and then this prop is like my favorite prop to use as a wall, because it has like a good hitbox and it fits quite nicely. It looks pretty decent and it's got different colors and shit, which is good. Um, the stunt the stunt blocks here are again good uses, and you can get quite a big area out of it if you need to wall up something that's quite long. This prop here is a pretty good wall also, but it is only one color, and if you're making a land race, then this will work quite nicely also, because it was just count as a land race prop. Although I guess not many people are making land races these days. Um, so that's pretty much the props on a large scale, like the ones to use as walls. Next, you have these props, which are the smaller ones. These are good for like blocking things off, smaller areas that might need walls. Um, Hitboxes are decent enough. Um, just like if you're gonna be blocking up something around that you need to kind of like put two together. So if we say that the flow of traffic is coming from this direction up to there, just make sure like you're overlapping the hitboxes. So you do it like this, and then like just like kind of push it out on the driver's side a couple of pixels, so the hitbox stays on the other side. That is the same thing to do with everything, no matter what you use, and these ones especially. Like, they need to be overlapped. This isn't right, but you know, for the general gist of things, just like overlap them. So if you're coming from this direction as overlapped, obviously it's nice. um, yeah, these props, it's gonna be hard push to beat this one down in my eyes, because you can kind of like give a pretty cool effect, if you just put that one down and then go over the next one. I think it's, yeah, 25 degrees either way, and then that gives you a flat top to it. It can be a bit weird though. No, it's not 25 degrees, is it? It must be something else. No, it is 25 degrees. It's 3 o'clock in the morning when I'm recording this, so my brain isn't quite braining. Being a bit smooth at the moment. And yep, so that's my favourite thing to do. You might be different. Yeah, I'm just saying what it is that I do. And another thing I like to use also as walls is this one. If I have quite a big area or even a smaller area, I like the fence aspect of shit. So like I'll just do that. And like the hitbox on these is okay. It can be sketchy, but if it's sketchy, just lay something over the top if you need to, or just pick it up so that the like natural barrier already sticks through, which is that bit, and then you just have to like cover everything else. Um, but yeah, that's pretty much like the prop rules. Um, Let me just check my notes real quick. Sorry. Um, it's gonna be up to you how you prop stuff up, but I can just tell you a couple of bits to look out for when you do so. So, um, if where's a good place? We'll go to the middle of the city because that's usually the best place to explain things. um, so if you're building like a street circuit or something, and you want to wall something up, like this particular wall has this particular area has a lot of palm trees and stuff. So if you're trying to like eradicate that, then you place your wall down like so. Like the height there is a little bit higher than I would normally do. I'd go a little bit lower than that personally, but anything higher than that would be a bit sketchy because you're just blocking something off. You don't want to block off the scenery too much, in my eyes. Um, you're free to disagree, of course. Um, but yeah, just trying to add a bit of um, depth to things can make things a lot better in my eyes, especially when you're building tracks. Like you're you're giving people an experience, but that doesn't mean that you can just chuck a ginormous wall somewhere and hey, look, I've made this track, but it's got this massive wall there. It's just it looks wrong. Like your wall heights are quite important, um, especially when you're trying to build something in the city or something. Like you don't want things to look out of place. Like to me, that it just looks massively out of place. But if you were to get it somewhat in line with the natural uh, incline decline of it, like this isn't going to be perfect, but like just to give you an example, like one to the next, it's night and day. Like the wall does the same job, but it doesn't look hideous. Um, and every time you do place a wall down, just like do a couple of test runs by grinding it and see what happens to your car, how the car reacts. Like, does it flip over the top? Is there something poking through? Is there a hitbox? Just do your due diligence. Ugh. And it makes your life a bit easier, and then you have a nicer track at the end of it also. So it's a win-win situation. But that doesn't mean that like you have to make every wall be that small. Like, if you're trying to make a feature out of something, it doesn't really matter the wall height. Like different wall heights can give a different perspective, and you can kind of cover things up, and you don't really know where you are when you're racing on things, and that's like a cool aspect of stuff. But like you've got a brilliant map, like it still holds up to this day. So try and just like leave it as natural as possible. Um, so yeah, I think that pretty much covers walls. I'm gonna leave it up to you to instigate how you place them, but again, you just use the right props. Um, don't let them be overlapped. So like on this, don't let them be like this where the hitbox is there. You see the way the car kind of like jutted out. Like if you're going from the other direction, it's fine, and there's no jutting. Um, so yeah, that's about that. Oh, I know what I could show you also. Like if you're gonna wall up something that's like uh, got like a bit of a bank to it or something. So we will just use this as an example. Like what's that? That's 8 degrees off the floor, and you want to put a wall there. Then you have to make sure. 1 second, apologies. That you're alright. That's 90. If I lift it like that, what will happen is the car is just going to ramp up that. So if that's at 8 degrees, that banking, you would then put this at 8 degrees the opposite way. So it's always 90 degrees between those props then. And then what happens is your car doesn't flip, which makes for a better racing experience. I'll just show you a couple of examples of where some of these techniques have been used. So we'll go on to where is it? Oh, it's on the first page, isn't it? So this was like a NASCAR track that I made for Jeremy Powers over at Torque. And as you can see, I've got a big wall for one, that's adding depth. But this is angled in so the car isn't getting pushed up and ramping up. I feel like the best way to put them is so that you're not speed boosting off of them and you're also not flipping. So if you hit the wall, then you're going to pay for it. But like these props are also overlapped in the direction of where the car's going. As you can see, that white part of the prop is overlapped enough that if you're driving next to it, it's not going to hitbox you. Same on this bit as well. And find the right color. Like it's overlapped. I need something. I need like a pen. But like that red and blue prop is just a little further back from the yellow one because we're coming from this direction, so it's not going to hitbox you. Tall walls giving a different perspective and also covering up the mess that's behind this. Like people are never going to see that unless they go for a Jolly Roger. So yeah, that's what I mean about like angling the walls away. And then I'll just show you some walls that I put in this track, which is dotted around the city streets. So like again here, like I've got the wall sticking out a little bit that way so that people aren't gonna go straight up that road. wall height is like what I find to be a nice wall height. It's not going to be an issue, and it blocks up quite a lot of bits from behind. So we've got these trees, the poles, a bench, like it's all propped up, and then I've ran up against it a few times, like this, both like in the creator and online, and online with a populated lobby, just to check that things aren't poking through when they shouldn't be. Um, like there's other things that you can use as walls as well, but if you just keep it simple with what I have shown you, and then like you won't go far wrong. You learn a few things while you're doing it, but like for example, this wall is got that like wood effect, which kind of goes with the construction site there. So that's where I placed that up there to blend in. Um, Again, like here, this prop is just covering all of that crap up. The fences are here, so I can still see the building behind, and that bit doesn't seem so claustrophobic and enclosed. Like the fence is there, it's doing its job, but then I can still see like the building behind. So it seems more like the type of thing that you might see in a real street race. Um, and then there's one more bit on this track actually that might be helpful. Like again, I've got the fences there behind. That pole is actually removed, so it gives a bit of depth. But then I've also got like the the stunt landing pad, and it's overlapped, so it can stretch all the way across. And I think that would be it for walls. But if you have questions about walls, just chuck me a question in the comments or over Discord or whatever your preferred way is. Anything I've missed, I can let you know about. But yeah, we can move on to the runoff areas, which is the best bit in my opinion. So I'll load up another track and we'll go from there. Right, so Runoff uploaded up Atlantis, which is a mediocre stunt track, but it best suits and explains the reasons why Runoff is usually the preferred aspect of things. Um, so as you can see, all this Runoff is here. It's full traction. Um, oh, there's a prop missing in here. I had to delete a few to make the vid. Um, So yeah, let's just get straight into showing you how I like to build the runoffs. So I'll delete these a second. Right, so I've got the props there, and literally all I do is try and use full traction props on your runoff. It's not really that important because like your runoff isn't actually within your track bounds, but it's just like a personal preference that I like to use it. So what you would do is, let me start that again real quick. Make sure you do the little rotation saving trick like so, and then I'll snap that bit onto there, line it up, flip it over, push it into place, and voila, run off. Same amount of props as a wall, but isn't shit. um, like I prefer the runoff because like you're getting more depth of the track then. Like it doesn't seem so claustrophobic and boxed in. Um, and yeah, that like if you've got like a straight piece of road like this, it's so easy to just build runoff. Like because you put one prop down and then you snap the rest together. Like this isn't quite right, but like it literally takes that long to get it set up nicely. And um, yeah, but other bits of runoff you can do is like for this track, as an example, like it's got the ocean being quite a main part of the theme of this track. So I've just used the full traction start lines and then move it into place. So you would like do this to keep the rotation settings, drop it down into spot. I mean the amount of runoff is it's entirely up to you how much runoff you want. There isn't there isn't um a universal amount of runoff that any track should have. Like it is just pure personal preference. Um, but like having the runoff, I know I'm just repeating myself at this point, but I see a lots and lots of tracks where it's just really built up. Like all of this, there would be a wall here, and there'd be a wall there. And I'm not just talking about stunt tracks. I mean all tracks. It's just so walled up and just it seems so claustrophobic. And like this game, even though it's like really old, it's still very beautiful. So try and try and incorporate aspects of the natural map into your races, and like trust me, it will make it a lot more fun building it. People will enjoy them more. It'll be more memorable. Like yeah. But I think again, like there's not much to say else about runoffs. Um, just you're just trying to think a bit more about like its visual aspect as opposed to like saving yourself a couple of minutes. Like just like yeah, keep the game alive. And let those beautiful bits poke through. Um, but yeah, speaking of like nice things and visuals, I will be making another visual um, tutorial soon, and then a summary, and then I think that would be pretty much it for the stuff that I was going to share. Um, but yeah, enjoy it. I hope it helps, and I'll see you in the next one.